Animal aid has been an opportunity to move people. Let the animals be the teachers, because they will be for most people. The idea of shifting from the long Western tradition of the animal being an accessory, its rights only the rights of the owner, but never the rights of the animal. We think of differently here. It's all about what they want and what they feel.
When I was young, I always loved animals, but I never dreamed that I could help them at any scale. Animal aid has been like a filter for loving kindness. The people that come here to volunteer with animals are the sweetest people on the planet. Every single animal at Animal Aid is here because somebody local cared enough to call and many times tried to actually help with the rescue.
The reason that we focus on rescuing injured or sick street animals is, of course, because we want to save those individual lives, and we believe that every life is precious, but it's also something bigger than that. It's how does that impact the people, the Indian local people, who witness and see our rescues. Just this morning, we got a call from a mother and a daughter who had seen a very badly injured street dog in their neighborhood. As soon as we got the call, we got our rescue team together, we sent the ambulance out, and we started searching for the dog. When we got there, we couldn't find the dog right away, but local people who were just watching, standing outside of their homes, they saw what we were doing and they pitched in to help, and they too started searching for the dog. So finally, after searching for about 20 minutes, someone called us over and they said they'd seen him right on the main road, and he was just slowly walking along, and that's where we found him. Once we found him, our rescuer Nandu first went by him and just sat next to him and started feeding him biscuits just to make sure he knew that we weren't going to hurt him. Once we got him back to Animal Aid, our veterinary nurse started to treat the wound, clean it, and we sedated him for it so that he was in no pain during the treatment. And his wound is going to take about 4 to 5 weeks to fully heal. And the mother and daughter were so touched. They said that it was just heartbreaking for them to see the injury and not know what was going to happen to the dog. And I know that that feeling that they had of seeing Animal Aid, seeing the rescue, is going to motivate them to help so many more animals in the future, be so much more aware, so much kinder. And it's going to influence the entire neighborhood. And every single rescue does that. It's an amazing, virtuous cycle of love. When you see someone loving an animal or rescuing, it opens up your heart and it inspires people to want to do the same. And we see it every single day.
60,000 animals have been rescued in 15 years here, and everyone was important.
Mainly street dogs, like they are well adapted on the street, but most of the times, once in a while, they get hit by car and bikes. So they get paralyzed and they really lose hope. So at a time when we just rescue them, we just give a second chance to them. Like our staff, volunteers, they just come, give much love, care and attention. So right now we have got more than 80 paralyzed dogs, and still being paralyzed, they are very happy. They are just enjoying their life and they will stay here for their life.
When you're with the animal and with its wound and with its problems, it's just been run over by a truck in the city and it's arrived and you're dealing with it, this is an opportunity to really take on the empathy of another living creature. And in doing so, it lifts the value of everyone involved.
This is Maruti. We rescued Maruti when she was 2-day-old calf and we bottle fed her. She was abandoned by a dairy farm when she was really tiny, and every month we get a lot of calls for orphan babies. Every month we get 1 or 2 orphan babies who come here and we bottle fed them.
Every single day, I feel like this animal protection movement is growing in India and in the world, and it gives me tremendous strength to keep going in the face of sadness that is sometimes so vast that I don't know how to put one foot in front of the other. And then suddenly a door opens and another outstanding person comes in and says, "How can I help?"
Some of the animals we rescue are in such awful condition that if you just looked at them when we rescued them, you might think, oh, this is too bad, it needs to be euthanized. But what we have found time and time again is that even the worst wounds can heal and do heal. In Udaipur, 15 years ago, people have gotten used to just seeing an injured dog, maybe paralyzed on the side of the road, or a cow with fractured legs just languishing, and they've gotten used to the fact that there's no one who's going to come to help. And when you don't do anything in the face of an animal's suffering or injury, you start to desensitize. And at some point, you don't even notice it anymore.
Animal aid is a process. It's not a finite goal. Helping animals is like being on a road. And I don't know exactly which way the road will turn, and I don't think it will ever end. What I do know is that being on this road with other animal protectors is a magnificent feeling. It's a humbling feeling, because this road is a road of love.
So those who get deeply involved in this work will, by being here and working, the sense of changing and moving from whatever position they started. And volunteers can go into the world. They might never return to animal aid, but when they return to Poland or England or Canada, the rest of their lives, they'll be gentler and kinder people to these voiceless creatures.
There are millions of dogs and cows and donkeys who are on the streets, and thankfully in Udaipur we're actually able to help every single injured animal. and no one is without care and protection and love in our city.